Before we get started on the finale, there is one topical trick that I wanted to show off, and I say topical because this wasn't found until about a couple of weeks ago, I want to say. I mentioned earlier in the project that in order to complete the game as fast as possible, you only need to beat the mission 7s of every level. And recently, a skip in Gelato Beach was found that allows you to bypass the first 6 episodes by getting the watermelon shine early. And the reason why this is such a big skip is because the world record at the time, I want to say, was around 90 minutes, and this shaves off about 10 of those minutes. And I'm not going to get into too much detail about exactly how this works. There are better tutorials out there than I could show you. It involves spraying down one of these coconuts from the palm tree and perfectly aligning yourself on the roof of the cabana that has the watermelon shine in it. If you're perfectly aligned and you allow the coconut to roll towards you, it pushes you down off of the roof in such a way that you can clip into the roof itself, and if you hover perfectly through it, you're able to clip into the cylinder that's holding the shine. And I say this as if it's very easy to execute, but I want to say this trick took me about 20 minutes to actually do. If you're careful enough, you can hover straight in there, get the shine, and this allows you to go straight to Mission 7. So I just wanted to show that off while it was still relevant. And now, back to your regularly scheduled finale. This is normally the point in a Let's Play where I'd reflect back on everything that we'd accomplished and the story that's brought us this far, but this is Super Mario Sunshine. Does anybody care? Because I sure don't. Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant. Welcome to the finale of what's probably going to be the worst winter anybody in the Northern Hemisphere can remember. I mean, let's play Super Mario Sunshine. I mean, sure, the game's ending now, but let's be honest, I think most of us are just happy that winter is finally coming to an end, and I say that when we're expected to get another foot or so of snow this week. Oh boy! I feel like this project is... Forget the game itself. This is just going to go down as the reason why we've had such a terrible winter. I said it at the very beginning. It makes no sense for me to be playing this game at this time of year because we're going into winter. People usually come to this game expecting summer weather, and it just feels right to play it in the summer, and here I am doing it in the worst of what's probably the worst winter most of us have experienced. But I digress. You want to talk about the game, right? I've already... For those of you just coming in here for the last episode, first of all, I don't know why you would jump into the last episode, considering this is probably going to be one of the most boring ones. But we already have 119 shines, so I have already collected the blue coins that we need. So I'm not going to be spending much time ranting about the boat, considering I did already, and am really not in the mood to do it again. But if you're interested in hearing the boat rant, you can go listen to the boat rant. I'm not going to stop you. I just want to concentrate right now on the end game here, and building off of what Super Mario 64 brought in terms of Bowser levels, I always thought of these as just a demonstration of all of the platforming skills and abilities you've gained throughout the game. An opportunity to show off what the game has taught you, what you've learned, and how much better you've become at it. And this one presents you with platforming, boat, and more platforming. It's kind of anticlimactic in that respect, that you were, at least for me, the Bowser levels in Mario 64, they were really fun to do. I was always looking forward to them, even though I want to say there was more to them than I always thought that there was more to those levels than there actually was, because they were so much fun to play. But, I mean, this one's over already. So, here we are, final boss fight. There is Bowser Jr. I suppose you can expect... I never noticed that shine sprite in the water before. But, of course, who's going to be the final boss of a Mario game? Let's be honest. Even when we were kids, we saw this coming. And the final boss fight, I suppose it's only fitting because of how silly this game has been up until this point, but the only way you would know that you have to ground pound these with the rocket nozzle, did I not go high enough the first time? Is if you've, well, I guess Flood tells you at some point here. And there was also that shine sprite on the lighthouse that you had to ground pound the same way. And the water will do that sometimes. It's very annoying. These will start to go down a little bit more quickly after a while. If I can trick Bowser into spraying fire the other way, that would be terrific. But this boss fight, I don't suppose there's really much I need to say about it that hasn't already been said. It's interesting to say the least, and it keeps canceling out my rocket nozzle. I don't know why it's doing that. But it's interesting. It's creative, I suppose you could say. But it's not something that I imagine a bunch of people are really big fans of. And, I mean, looking back, did I go too far? I went too far. Looking back on it, going to the Mario 64 Bowser fights, I guess I'm using that as my measuring stick at this point. They really didn't last all that long, because once you threw Bowser into that one mine, you were done. And as much fun as the third Bowser fight was, where you had to throw him into 3 mines instead of 1, it was still over fairly quickly if you know what you were doing. And here, this one's over before I have a chance to explain anything in the game whatsoever. It's a really big... it's anticlimactic. You go through everything in the game that you have, and yeah, I guess it's fitting that he's just on his own vacation, minding his own business, just sitting in a hot tub, enjoying himself. And we're there to spoil the fun the same way he spoiled our fun because we were expecting to have our own vacation. It just felt like it was over too quickly. There really wasn't much to it. And there was also a subplot during that boss fight where Flood was slowly losing consciousness or power or something. I'm not sure what the reasoning for that was. Maybe it was to make you feel bad for Flood or something, feel like he was an actual character as opposed to a guy who was just telling you what to do and how to use him. But we got the Shine Sprite from the bottom of the hot tub, and everybody is happy because the Shine Gate's all pretty and sunlight's returning and everybody is dancing and having fun and excitement. It just feels kinda shallow. But this scene right here, this is the first game that you got to see Bowser Jr. You really didn't know much about him or his relation to Bowser. In fact, I don't think we knew Bowser was even in this game until this point. But this line, I love this line.
I wanna fight that Mario again.
It actually gives Bowser and Bowser Jr. something relatable. Something that you can understand and that you can feel that the storyline between Mario and Bowser will continue on. It just... I don't know if I can really explain why that line resonates with me, but it does. And Flood's all better now, and we can actually go on vacation, and that's the end of the game. How long has it been since I started the recording? 8 minutes? That was fast. So, Super Mario Sunshine. A game that I went into knowing that it had significant flaws in gameplay and design that I wasn't very happy with. And I was hoping that if it wouldn't turn my opinion, it would at least give me some good memories playing through this game again for you. And I have to say that it did. I've been unnecessarily hard on this game, and I think that came to the forefront when I had the guys on for co-commentary in the last video. There are a lot of things to complain about, but that doesn't mean that this game isn't good in its own right. It does have a lot of strong points, and it is fairly decent once you get past a lot of the flaws. The controls are really tight, the platforming is great, it's just that it's taken down by having to stop and spray everything, along with the tediousness of having to collect all the blue coins and a number of shines that really just felt like busy work. But I suppose all collectathons have something like that. So I feel like this Let's Play has given me a chance to appreciate this game for what it is, and not be bogged down by all of the things that I don't like about it. I don't know how well that was communicated throughout the project or not, but that's at least how I feel about it at this point. And with that abrupt finale, this is UniversalGiant, and our reward for completing this game 100%, this image. When I was growing up, I had a friend named Justin who's not Shadownox, and we had always wondered what the reward for clearing Super Mario Sunshine was 100%, because we had completed Super Mario 64 before, or if we hadn't, we had already known what the reward was. Yoshi on the rooftop, the 100 lives thing. But we never knew what the reward was for Super Mario Sunshine, because this was back in the day before we had the internet to look this stuff up. And that, plus the ability to go back to the guy with the sunglasses, and anytime you talk to him, he'll give you the tropical shirt, which I've shown off in another video that wasn't in this list, but for the sake of completeness, I'll show it off here. These are the rewards that you get for completing the game 100%. I highly doubt he's watching this video, but Justin, if you're out there, this is for you. This is UniversalGiant. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you guys for my next project, whatever it happens to be. Take care, and I hope that this Let's Play didn't spoil any opinions you had on this game already. See you next time.